Here are 9 things Australians are not being told about the US military takeover of their country. Number 1, you're being told the US submarines deal will cost $368 billion. No, US defense hardware typically costs far more than the original estimates. To take just one example, America's $1.7 trillion F-35 aircraft is now more than a decade behind schedule and 80% over budget. 80% over budget. Richard Dennis of the Australia Institute noted that the precision implied by the number 368 billion was clearly spurious. What will be the real cost to Australia? Well, a huge fortune in wasted cash, but an even greater loss in other ways. We'll get to that in a moment. Number 2, you're being told that the US militarization of Australia is defensive. No, it's not defensive. China has no plans to attack Australia and never has had. I live in China, and survey after survey has shown that we love Australia. We love Australians. You're one of our favorite customers. What about your other neighbors? Do you need defending against them? Is Indonesia going to attack Australia? Is New Zealand going to attack Australia? Of course not. You know what? Even enthusiastic Pentagon supporters like the Times of London admit that what's happening in Australia is not really about defense at all. It's about attacking China. Military experts suggested the moves were less about defending Australia than transforming the country into a base for offensive US operations into Asia. Now, the word offensive here means attacking, but I think the other meaning of the word also applies in this situation. Number 3, you're being told that this is all about defending peace for the people of Asia Pacific. No, your papers do not print the statements from ASEAN, from Singapore, from Hong Kong, from Asian people, Malaysia. These all say the same thing. The massive US escalation involving Australia clearly destabilizes the region. Malaysia's Prime Minister described AUKUS as a catalyst towards a nuclear arms race in the Indo-Pacific region. Australian academic Scott Birchill put it very well in a statement this week. Washington's sinophobia is the greatest threat to peace and security in the region. Thank you, Scott. Yes. Now, we all know that's true. Only the Australian media seems to be keeping itself mysteriously ignorant about this. Number 4, you're being told that you have to spend all this money on the military to stop China imposing its system on the world. No, this central argument is clearly untrue. China has no program to impose its system of governance around the world. China doesn't even impose its system of governance on itself. China is filled with special economic zones and autonomous regions where different types of governance are fine-tuned, tried out for local conditions. Now, you don't hear about these, but you should. Look them up. Look up Shenzhen, for example. Look up Shanghai. Now, these places are amazing. They're capitalism done right. And the results speak for themselves. Check it out for yourself. Number 5, you're being told that the spending is all about benefits for Australians. No. Tens of billions of dollars of Australian money will pay to provide local bases for the US military, and tens of billions more will go to the shipyards in the United States where the submarines are being built. You are doing a service for America, and you're paying through the nose to give them that service. The whole thing's backwards. When America tries the same tricks on Asian nations, we make them pay us. Look it up. It's all there if you take the trouble to look. Number 6, you're being told that the nuclear aspect is not an issue because the subs are nuclear powered but not nuclear armed. No, non-Western countries which want to move into nuclear power have repeatedly been told you can't do that because it's too easy to transfer nuclear propulsion reactors and weapons-grade enriched uranium to military uses. Now just think about that for a second. If it's wrong for non-Western countries, then it should be wrong for everyone. Justice, fairness. During the review last year of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, Indonesia said clearly that non-proliferation included the transfer of nuclear materials and technology for military purposes from nuclear weapon states to any non-nuclear weapon states. In other words, Australia is proliferating after promising not to do that. New Zealand and others have made similar points. Number 7, you're being told that the money side will be strictly accounted for. Who are they kidding? The US military is infamous for being totally opaque, more opaque than China even. The US Congress passed a law 33 years ago saying that all federal agencies must produce regular audited financial statements. More than 3 decades later, the US Department of Defense, the Pentagon, has never passed a single audit. Trillions of dollars are missing. So, tell me again about this strict accounting of Australian money being sent to the US Department of Defense for hardware. That money is going to disappear in huge amounts, and you'll never find it. You can't find it. You can't ask for it. Number 8, you're being told that you need the weapons to defend Taiwan because China is about to invade it. Wrong. China's policy is to maintain the status quo for as long as necessary, quote, for 100 years or 1,000 years, until reunification becomes the natural next step. Survey after survey has shown that the people of Taiwan also support maintenance of the status quo. It's the US which has taken a series of actions that damage the status quo. Why are they doing that? Because they want a conflict and always prefer it if someone else does the fighting. They'd like Australia and Japan to take that role. Do you want to take that role? Number 9, you're being told that Australia's natural role is to partner the US in maintaining stability in Asia. No. Australia's reputation is not that of a bully. Australia's reputation is not that of a self-appointed international police officer. Australia's reputation is not that of a place which follows a more guns equals more peace philosophy. And that is where Australia's real loss is taking place as we speak. Australia has always been seen by the rest of the countries of East Asia as a good group of people, a good society. We like doing business with you. We like swapping tourists with you. We enjoy cultural exchanges with you. Your great reputation among your neighbours across Asia Pacific has been won over decades of peaceful, win-win relationships. Don't let the Pentagon spoil that. Here's what Australians need to do, and it's simple. You need to be yourselves. You need to be the good blokes. You need to be the peacemakers. You need to be the bridge between East and West. You need to be mates with China, mates with Malaysia, mates with Indonesia, mates with the ASEAN countries, because that is the way to peace.